Hello and welcome to Vidigya. So let's start with the analysis of the Indian Express newspaper dated 24th of January. So the first news which we'll be discussing is correcting mistakes of past PM on Bose statue. So our Honorable Prime Minister on Sunday had unveiled a hologram statue of late Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji at India Gate, and wherein he had wherein when he was addressing the meeting, that particular event, he had talked about the contribution of late Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji on our independence, right? And in that meeting, along with our Honorable Prime Minister, Home Affairs Minister Mr. Amit Shah, and ministers like Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri and Meenakshi Lekhi, all these senior leaders of the current BJP or NDA-led government were also accompanied with Mr. Modi. And Mr. Modi had talked about the developments and which has been laid by the current regime, current government in the recent past, especially with respect to setting up of Statue of Unity at Gujarat in the honor of or in the glory of late Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji. And apart from this, renaming this Janjati Gaurav Divas in the honor of tribal leader icon Shri Birsa Munda. So our Honorable Prime Minister on this huge event had talked about the contribution which has made by different leaders whose contribution in our independence or freedom struggle has been a glory of the past. According to the Prime Minister, this previous governments which were there, which have ruled our nation, did not paid proper homage or proper due recognition to those people who had given so much contribution to the lives in our freedom struggles and even at other events as well. And the PM has also talked about the goal building which needs to be done, or the work which needs to be done, as we are completing 75th years of independence this year only, and a lot needs to be done as we'll be celebrating 100th years of independence, which is going to fall in 2047. So our Honorable Prime Minister had talked about his vision, that how he sees the nation building, and the way things are changing, the way development paths have been done. And not only he talked about the previous development, but the recent development of this unveiling of this statue, the hologram based statue, 28 feet by 6 feet hologram based statue, which is a temporary one, wherein in future this will be replaced by a proper granite based statue of late Subhash Chandra Bose ji, right? So the author has, our Honorable Prime Minister has talked about all these developments and cited some of the key contribution of these big leaders, senior leaders, in the glory of our Independence Day celebration. And as I'd already told you in our previous discussions as well, this topic is going to be very important, and it should be noted that earlier we used to celebrate 24 from 24th of January to 29th of January as our Republic Day celebration. But now, as we celebrate Parakram Divas on 23rd of January, on the birth anniversary of late Subhash Chandra Bose ji. So now from this year onwards, we'll be celebrating this day, or Republic Day celebration is going to start from 23rd of January itself till 30th of January. Then second news is 2 years into pandemic, top gene body says virus in community. So as it's been nearly 2 years we are facing this situation of pandemic. So as this new variant is already there, so the way cases have just started increasing, wherein on a continuous basis we are seeing cases more than two and a half lakh cases per day, or more than 3 lakh cases for say. So our INSACOG, our consortium of national laboratories, which is having work of tracking different variants of the virus, especially alpha, delta, or omicron variant per se. So that has revealed that this omicron variant is in a stage of community transmission. basically what is community transmission, wherein it's getting infected more and more and more and more people when they are coming in contact with people, they are also getting infected with the same. So though this variant has already been recognized by or said by WHO as a variant of concern, and uh, more than 100 countries have already seen cases with respect to this new variant Omicron. So in India, as the symptoms are, you'll be having a mild fever, or you'll be having some throat infection like this. And as the weather is also changing in India per se, so our authorities have made this clear that the way things are changing, it's like this Omicron variant in our country has gaining momentum or increasing the cases, like it has reached to a community transmission stage. So it's getting widespread, and more people are getting infected. Many of the people are already, uh, the positivity rate is already increasing, and even cases have started increasing, and some of the states are seeing daily cases of more than 50,000, especially if we talk about Maharashtra, Karnataka, or states like Kerala. So cases are increasing, but though this variant is not so deadly, but still we need to remain cautious and follow COVID appropriate behavior, so that we are able to combat this pandemic situation. Then we can skip this. This is about political news. Elections are down the line. Okay, so PLA confirms, PLA means a People Liberation Army, confirms missing boy in custody, identity being verified. So recently we have heard about this news that a 17-year-old student, a child who is from Arunachal Pradesh, whose name is Miram Teron, who went to his nearby forest with his friends. So therein he was abducted by the Chinese People Liberation Army. At the time, his friends who were accompanying him, they had left, they had run away or fled away. Then Miram Teron, he was detained by PLA, People Liberation Army, and now they have confirmed that we have found this person, though they have not revealed the name and his photograph, but PLA has confirmed that they'll be sending the 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 photos of the person got abducted, and it will take a week or so in completing all the formalities. Then we'll hand over Miram Taron to India. Okay, then the first editorial is the India shadow. Pakistan new security policy has stayed in focus but falls short of reimagining ties with Delhi. So recently, our neighboring nation, Pakistan, they have released their first ever national security policy, wherein they have talked about the changes in their economic diaspora, and their expansion of economic ties with different geopolitics, geo-economics countries, so that the current situation wherein they are curbing a lot of problems, especially with respect to terrorism and drug trafficking, illegal trafficking, so that with this new policy, uh, it has been opined that Pakistan will be able to fulfill its long awaited dream of uh, going on the verge of development path per se. But according to the author, there has always been a difference of between what Pakistan says and its implementation, because of the fact that though this Pakistan is called as a so-called democracy, but the biggest problem is army is in power as well. If I tell you about Pakistan, so uh, so now this national security policy of Pakistan talks about the developments with respect to business, with respect to gaining economic ties with all the countries, so that the country can work on a path of development. But even with India as well, they have talked about getting on the path of development, getting on the path of strengthening its economic ties. But a lot needs to be done with respect to increasing its ties. So herein the author has talked about the recent developments, what all had happened with respect to India, what all steps which have been taken by Pakistan with the recent developments in India, like at the time when we had abrogated this Article 370 and 35A in the month of August 2019, then Pakistan has retaliated and they have said that the Indian government should take back its decision. This is not right. So for any country or any government per se of India, this is unlikely that we are going to follow an advice which has been given by any foreign country, and especially Pakistan. So uh, this is not right. And even after that, the ceasefire agreement, which again got started, and even the economic ties which have wherein India has also declined its MFN status to Pakistan, most favored nation status. So in terms of exports of Pakistan, India comprised nearly less than 2%, but still uh, it does not hamper or it does not impacted India much. Rather, it impacted Pakistan in terms of economic problem what they are facing. Especially, we have seen this thing that after uh, getting a hit on the economic ties, or the soaring up of the relations between India and Pakistan, especially with respect to business. They have seen, or Pakistan as a country has seen a rapid rise in terms of a lot of prices in terms of essentials like tomatoes or onions, the basic. So herein the author is trying to say that rather Pakistan should follow a pragmatic approach with respect to Kashmir, and the goals which they have enshrined in this national security policy, they need to work upon rather than going for this Kashmir dispute, because it has always been seen that Pakistan, even Pakistan himself does not want to solve this Kashmir dispute, because they want that on each and every big platform they want to reiterate the same thing regarding Kashmir, and they themselves don't want a solution on this. Otherwise, their geopolitics or their politics will get hampered. So the author has talked about not only about the trades with India, but even other countries as well, wherein if Pakistan will follow the path or the this recent policy, whatever has been unveiled in this or which has already been made public, so that will eventually help them in gaining ties with India and even several other nations as well, and that will eventually help them in their path of development. Then the first opinion, side by side. Amar Jawan Jyoti, National War Memorial showcase a rich history. Both flames should endure. So this news is about merging of flames of Amar Jawan Jyoti with National War Memorial. In the first half of this opinion, the author has praised the recent development, the recent decision which has been taken by the Modi government, wherein they have said that already Amar Jawan Jyoti, which is there from 1972, it comprises of martyr of our brave Indian soldiers, only of those people who have fought for this Pakistan liberation war with Bangladesh. Rather, it it uh, it basically does not include the overall perspective or overall a big picture, wherein it does not include more and more our Indian brave soldiers who are not listed, or whose name has not been enshrined on that particular war memorial or Amar Jawan Jyoti. So that's why they recently made this decision of our Indian government, wherein they had said that we'll not go with two flames, rather we'll merge the current flame which got burnt at Amar Jawan Jyoti with National War Memorial. And whenever any event, such event is going to happen, then that event will be held at National War Memorial itself. But herein, in the second half of this particular opinion, the author has said that this is not going to be easy. What the step which has been taken by the government, and in the first half, the author has praised the recent step, but in the second half, the author has talked about the sacrifices which our Indian soldiers have made at the time of pre-independence era or prior independence era, So that is going to be a problem, that how the current government is able to handle this particular situation. So here the author has talked about both the perspective. Here in the first half, he has praised the recent step. In the second one, he's talked about the negligence or the way the pre or the prior independence era or the soldiers will be not be listed on the National War Memorial. So this is all being mentioned in this particular opinion by the author. Then second opinion is fiscal arithmetic. Tax collections are buoyant, but meeting fiscal deficit target set in union budget will be difficult. So recently, as a budget session is already down the line, we'll be seeing in a less than a week or so that the budget will be unveiled by our Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. So herein the author has talked about the recent promises which has been made by the Modi government, even in order to reduce the fiscal deficit or the burden of the government. So the author has said that though in terms of tax collections or in terms of revenue generating either the direct taxes or the indirect taxes, the collections have been fairly buoyant, but still the way we are able to handle this fiscal deficit situation is creating a deadlock and it's posing a problem, because the biggest issue is the government is including disinvestment as a part of revenue generation, but that should not be the case. Rather, the policy framework or the bigger picture or the business or the trade should get emphasized rather than going for disinvestment. So if I talk about the recent Air India investment, which has brought in nearly 18,000 crores to the government, that is also going to include in the revenue part of the government. So the author is trying to say, though we are able to curb the fiscal deficit, but still, rather than going for these extraordinary gains which we are having from these disinvestments, rather the government should focus on getting more and more funds through business, trade, or other spending as well. You can read this Unease of Doing Business. It's talking about personal data protection bill, which was quite prominent at the time when we have seen this winter session of parliament, right? It has already been went to JCP, Joint Committee of Parliament, headed by an MP from Rajasthan, Mr. P.P. Chaudhary. Okay. Now we move to the explained part. Subsidy bill or fertilizer subsidy is going to be a big issue in the upcoming budget. So that's why it has been discussed at length. A lot of data has already been put in here. Then the appeal of him, abide with me in India. So recently the government has made this decision that at the time of celebration of our Republic Day celebration, usually the hymn which is always been played, that is Abide With Me, will be replaced by Indian songs like Vande Mataram, right? So earlier also the similar kind of a thing has happened, but then it again got changed. And with the recent decision, even the opposition has taken a dig on the government, wherein former finance minister Shri P. Chidambaram has said that this decision is not right, which has been taken by the Modi government of replacing Abide With Me with Indian folk songs, which will be played at the upcoming Republic Day celebration. Then the comments in India that led to a removal of Germany's Navy chief. So Vice Admiral of Germany's Navy chief, Mr. Skonbeck, who was recently on a visit to India, and wherein he had felicitated at Shri Manohar Parrikar Institute in New Delhi. So he has made some remarks wherein which had led to a lot of controversy, and finally he has to resign and made his resignation to the concerned minister of Germany. So what's the issue? Basically, at the time when he was addressing the crowd at New Delhi, so he has made some statements like that Russian president deserves respect, and and Ukraine would never get back the Crimean Peninsula that Moscow annexed in 2014. So all these statements have been made that Mr. Putin should get more respect, and if Ukraine is thinking that they might be able to get their Crimea region again back from Russia, that is going to happen. So that's why Vice Admiral, he was quietly criticized, and even Ukrainian government has also criticized, and they have also made the stand clear. So even the German government, they have said that these are personal opinions, personal remarks of Navy chief, and even the Navy chief himself have said that these are my personal opinions, which I said because of the ongoing dispute. But because of the widespread controversy, Vice Admiral has to resign, and he had resigned from his post. And it should be aware that ongoing Russian-Ukrainian dispute is at its peak, wherein NATO nations have already intervened, and we are on a daily basis seeing updates with respect to this news of dispute, wherein we have seen the involvement of Germany, UK, US, all these big Western nations in order to solve this ongoing conflict. Then sanctions will, on the world section, sanctions will undercut ability to deter possible Russian aggression, says US. So now US, UK, all these NATO nations have already made their point clear that the way Russia has already sent its troops at the Ukrainian border, nearly 1 lakh troops had already been sent, and Russia might one fine day invade Ukraine as well, and the possibility has already been made by Mr. Joe Biden, the US president, as well. So now talks are underway that sanctions needs to be imposed on Russia, so that they'll not go for this path of annexing Ukraine. And if they do so, the US made its point already clear that it's going to be detrimental for USA, for Russia, if they're going to do this. And even some of the remarks had already been made by Britain as well, that some Russian intelligence officers are already in touch with former Ukrainian politicians as a part of its invasion, but Russia has retaliated, and they have said that these all are misinformation, false information, which are surfaced online or surfaced in the media. This is not right. We are not in touch with any of the Ukrainian diplomats or politicians, and even the other leaders have said that it's high time that the action needs to be, or proper decision making has to be done in order to combat this ongoing dispute between both the nations. Then 3-day talks with Taliban began in Norway as hunger stalks Afghanistan. So as we had already aware that Taliban is now in power in Afghanistan, and the way things are changing, they are already in power for nearly more than 5 months. So it's high time that even they are asking for their due recognition. Especially they have made this thing clear, or appeal to the Prime Minister of Taliban had made this appeal to especially the Muslim dominated nations or Muslim countries, that at least they should start recognizing, so that we'll be able to start business with those countries. And even the $10 trillion funds which are already being blocked by sorry, $10 billion funds which are already being frozen by US and other countries, so that can get released, so that in order for the development of our country, we can work upon. So that's why in Norway, in Oslo, the talks have already been started. And on the first day, the foreign minister of Taliban regime had met several organizations, especially concerning women's rights, and they've said that ever since we are in power, we have tried to defend the women's, and have not taken any step which is detrimental to their progress. So the talks are already been there, and it will be a 3-day talk, and in coming time we'll see more clarity that how more and more countries are going to give humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. And we should be aware of that already a resolution in UNSC has already been proposed by USA in order to provide humanitarian aid to Afghanistan under the name UNSC Resolution 2615. Then Beijing introduces more measures as cases mount. So as the cases are already increasing in Beijing, and Winter Olympics are going to start from nearly 10 days from today, nearly 4th of February. So Beijing has introduced more and more measures. They are imposing more and more curbs so that this pandemic situation can get curtailed upon, so that the ongoing upcoming event can get start and wind up on a due course or on a easy basis. So already a few of the states had already, few of the cities of China had already been under lockdown, and several steps have already been taken by the government, so that the rapid surge of cases can get reduced, and more testing and vaccination can be done upon the city. Then on the economy section, Devas shareholders to continue pursuing Indian assets abroad. So though this topic is basically about economy, but still in our earlier examination 2020 we have seen second passage in our examination in GA section. So this particular topic, the Devas Antiques deal, which involves which is quite the reputation of Indian government is also at stake in this particular issue. So this news is important, and they have said Devas Multimedia, an Indian-based company started by former ISRO members. They have said that in future they'll continue their seizure of Indian government assets if the government is not able to pay its remaining $1.2 billion amount which the Union government is not paying right now, and they have already filed cases against Indian government, so that the frozen funds which are not, or the said funds which needs to be paid, are not getting paid by the Indian government. So this is going to be an interesting case. Earlier also similar cases we have seen with respect to Vodafone and KN Energy as well. So this is also going to be a similar case wherein the stake of Indian government or the reputation of Indian government is on stake, that how the government is going to handle this particular dispute. So here we end the discussion of Indian Express. So now we'll move forward to the Hindu. So the first news is Omicron in community transmission, INSSA COG. So INSSA COG are the Apex Organization Institution, which talks about different variants, which studies different mutation or different variants. It already made this thing clear that the way cases are increasing in our country, there may be with respect to Omicron is in a situation that India has entered into a stage of community transmission with respect to this COVID-19 pandemic, or with respect to this new variant, that is Omicron. So even they have talked about following the COVID appropriate behavior, ramping up of testing, testing, and even ramping up of vaccination, so that we are able to handle this pandemic kind of situation. And already vaccination has already been started with respect to 60 plus age group, precautionary dose, and for the healthcare staff and frontline workers, and even for adolescents from 15 to 18 age group has already been started from 3rd of January this year. Then boy from Arunachal found PLA. So People Liberation Army has said that we have found a missing boy, and we'll be revealing and sending the photos to the Indian government at the earliest, and it will take nearly a week time or so, wherein we'll hand over that person, that boy, to Indian government. Then 3.05 lakh cases on Sunday. So the cases are already soaring, cases are already increasing. And we are seeing mostly southern states like Karnataka and Kerala, they are seeing a rapid surge in terms of cases, and even the positivity rate is increasing like anything in these states. Not only in these states, but majority of the states are facing a high positivity rate with respect to Omicron variant. Then German Navy chief quits over remark at Delhi event. So this news we had already discussed at length in the Indian Express explained as well. And Vice Admiral has already resigned from his post and given his resignation to the concerned minister of Germany. And even the only Indian tune said meeting retreat. This was the second explained what we have just discussed in the Indian Express. Okay, so this we can skip. Okay, so both these news are related. Stalin opposes changes to IS rules, and second is drop amendments. Kerala CM urges Modi. So the CM of both the southern states, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, MK Stalin and P. Vijayan, respectively, they have opposed the recent amendments, the two amendments which has been initiated, which has been proposed by the Union government of changing the IS cadre rules 1954, wherein it empowers the Union government with respect to the IS officers, and because of shortage of IS officers at the center, the government, the Union government has taken this decision. But the leaders of the chief ministers of both these states have opposed this move, this recent move, which has been initiated by the union government, and they have said that this move will ultimately politicize this issue, and this might create a problem in upcoming time. So this is not right. This recent decision is not right on the part of the government, and they have written, both the chief minister have written a letter to our honorable prime minister with respect to this issue as well. Now we'll move to the editorial part. So the first editorial is a chance to support growth, fiscal consolidation. 2 years of real growth in economic activities have been wiped out by COVID-19, which the budget must take note of. So as the budget will be unveiled in a week or so. So herein the author has talked about the recent NSO survey has started with this recent NSO survey, which has got revealed that India's GDP, real GDP growth is expected at 9.2%, which was earlier projected at nearly 9.5%. So the broad crux of this particular editorial, wherein the author is trying to say that if we compare the pre-pandemic situation with the current situation, in terms of magnitude of GDP in real terms, we have not grown not even 1 or 2%. So if we compare the data from last year, the GDP in or not last year, in the year 2019-20, the GDP in magnitude in real terms was estimated at 145.7 lakh crore. And if we compare up to the current situation, this is 147.5 lakh crore. So this creates a problem that in the past 2 years, the way the growth rate at which we were going, and the way in terms of the changes of different policies, or the implementation of GST and demonetization have paved a way, so that in terms of it was eventually helps the government in increasing its tax collection and even the development path as well. But ever since we have entered this pandemic situation, our GDP in real terms have got hampered, and these 2 years have not helped us in achieving any sort of progress with respect to GDP in real terms, and especially with respect to even the private final consumption expenditure. The author has said that we have seen a low growth in terms of private final consumption expenditure as well, nearly 6.9% in the year 2021-22. And the author has talked about the real-time inflation and even other issues as well. But the broad crux of this particular editorial is that the author is trying to say that in terms of real GDP terms, we're not able to grow if we compare it to the previous 2 years. We're in a similar kind of situation. Then decoding the 2022 elections and the script for 2024. So in this particular editorial, the author is trying to say that in this year 2022, 7 states will be going for elections, and in the upcoming results, which are coming on March 10, will decide the fate of 5 poll-bound states, right? And at the end of the year, we'll be seeing elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh as well. So for now, the 5 poll-bound states, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Goa, Manipur, and Uttar Pradesh, will pave a way for the upcoming election. Not only upcoming 22 elections, but even it paves a way for 2024 Lok Sabha elections as well, right? So the author has talked about that this has always been the case, that this will be an indicator that how the political parties or the biggest state, that is Uttar Pradesh, will eventually helps us to know that who will be winning the 2024 election, Lok Sabha election. And even earlier also, though we have seen that there are instances wherein we have seen in Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, states like these, wherein in the state government, Congress has won the majority of the seats. But at the time of 2019 Lok Sabha elections, majority of the seats have won by Bharatiya Janata Party in these Lok Sabha elections. So that has always not been the case. But herein, the author has said that the results of these 5 poll-bound states will eventually help us pay and get an idea about the 24 upcoming elections. And even the author has said that even the elections in Uttar Pradesh is going to be a big challenge for not only BJP, but even for Congress, and even for Yogi Adityanath as well, the current chief minister, his future as well. And the author has talked about the rising influence of Aam Aadmi Party and TMC, the way they are increasing their vote bank, they're increasing their support in these elections. So the elections in 5 poll-bound states will eventually help us in getting an idea about the 24 Lok Sabha elections. Then false dichotomy. The top courts view that quotas ensure equal opportunities below for affirmative action. This is basically about the NEET PG admission quota, wherein Supreme Court has upheld its decision, the decision of the government. So the author has in some way criticized the recent step which has been taken by the Supreme Court. Okay, many freedom fighters recognize now, said by Prime Minister. So this news we had already discussed at the time of unveiling the hologram-based statue of late Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji. Then why neglect West Bengal? Asked Mamta. So this is about the tableaux of Mamta. West Bengal government is not included in the upcoming Republic Day celebration. So that's why Srimati Mamta Banerjee has already written a letter to our Honorable Prime Minister, and she has cited the reason that she is of the opinion that government is partial, and this is politicizing the issue. The union government is politicizing this particular move of not including the tableaux of West Bengal in the upcoming Republic Day celebration. Okay, this is about elections. 18% increase in cases from a week ago. Cases are increasing on a daily basis. I had already told you we have seen more than 3 lakh cases for the past 24 hours. And states like Karnataka, Kerala, and even states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, all these states are seeing a rapid surge in terms of new cases, and even the total positivity rate is also increasing in all these states. Then vaccines are must for breaking transmission. So this news, our agencies are also emphasizing on the fact that vaccines is the biggest shield if we want to encounter or combat this COVID-19 pandemic situation. And we have already inoculated more than 160 crore vaccine doses. So that will eventually help us in combating this pandemic situation. Then Moscow may install proxies in Kiev, UK. So Kiev is basically the capital of Ukraine, and the different claims are already being made by UK, US, and Germany with respect to the ongoing conflict between both these nations. But already tensions are soaring up in the Russia and Ukraine border ever since the troops have started increasing, and the Russian government has started, Russian army has started sending its troops to the Ukrainian border. So this is going to be a big challenge, that how this particular issue get resolved in the upcoming time. Then Taliban Afghan civil society members begin Oslo talk. So this news we had already discussed, that a 3-day talk is going to held in Oslo, and which will eventually reveal that how because in order to continue the way the functioning of the government needs funds. So how they are going to combat with this situation? So that's why the Taliban government in Afghanistan is asking for releasing of its funds. Then Beijing to test 2 million ahead of Olympic. This is basically about the upcoming Beijing Winter Olympics. So that's why more and more curbs are being implemented by China, so that the upcoming biggest sports event can get start without any halt. Okay, so here we ends the discussion of both the newspapers. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching.